Fans love him, and with good reason. The winner once again in the season-long series, John Force in the funny car division. But he's got big problems. The smile on his face may turn to gloom soon because of the rod that went right through his engine in his last run.
That's right, and 12 quarts of oil ran underneath the car. Here is their pit area, and you can see the crew right now muscling a brand new aluminum racing engine into the frame rails of that car. They're used to this kind of work. Right now it is time for the final four in Pro Stock Eliminator. And even though these are normally aspirated, gasoline-burning race cars, this track is proving to be a challenge to them as well, especially, Don Garlitz, when they shift from first to second gear.
That's right, because that's right where they go off the concrete to the asphalt.
They tend to move around. A lot of car control is necessary from these drivers, but these are two of the best. Jerry Ekman, who qualified number 5, and so far today has beaten Paul Rebeschi and Jim Yates. And Butch Leal, Mr. Holeshot, always off the line first. He has defeated Bob Glidden and Frank Iaconio already today. That's a full day's work, Don.
I think Butch Leal is having one of his best days this year. He has not had a good season.
That's right. The driving talent has always been there, but maybe not the power. Jerry Ekman has won on this racetrack before, now based out of Newark, Ohio. In fact, both cars from the Buckeye State. RPMs come up to about 7,000. Away they go, and you can see Leal skating around. And that cost him. He tried to come back. Too little, too late. A 725 for Ekman at 190 miles per hour. That's a big speed on this track. So a losing 732.
Watching this replay, you'll see why they call him the hole shot king. He moves out on Ekman very nicely. But as Steve said, you can see the car skate around just a little bit, kind of gets over toward the edge of the groove, and that's all that Jerry Ekman needed to make up the difference. And as they move down track, you can see the Ekman car just slowly pulls out in front of Leo, and that's the end of Leo's racing day.
So Jerry Ekman on his way to the finals of the Pro Stock. Steve?
Jerry Ekman, don't you wish this was the beginning of the year instead of the end? The 725.
Oh, man, I sure do. We were really stumbling. We've been through a long dry spell, and what a way to finish the year, though, Steve. We come back to my home track and run so well, and this has been the side of one of my biggest wins, the Winter Nationals, and I'm just so excited.
See you in the final.
Oh, God, that sounds great. Thank you.
Let's find out who he's going to race.
A track that's been very good to Jerry Ekman and continues to be that way. And Jerry will be matching up with either Darrell Alderman, who we're looking at right now, or Larry Morgan.
Well, Larry Morgan is one driver who has proven that Darrell Alderman is not invincible. In fact, Morgan won just 3 weeks ago the Chief Nationals at the Texas Motorplex outside of Dallas. So he comes in here with a hot hand. The man from Ohio beat Mark Powick and Kenny Delco earlier today. Darrell Alderman, even though he qualified number 2 at 723, does not have the horse for this course. His Dodge Daytona is a shorter wheelbase than any other kind of pro stock, or like the Oldsmobile Larry Morgan. So he really doesn't have the kind of weight transfer. It takes a driver to shoe this machine, even though it only has to go in a straight line. Nice start. Morgan has problems. Morgan shuts it off. Darrell Alderman will go to the final round at 7:28. Not bad for the middle of the day. 190 miles per hour.
So we are set now for the finals in the Pro Stocks, and a couple of veterans going up against each other, Jerry Ekman and Darrell Alderman, as Ekman will have the lane choice. We move back to the pit area now. Thad Austin, he's getting ready for his semifinal matchup for the Mongoose. Tom McEwen and Jack Clark's car, and what a story he is becoming. This is only his 5th race in the Top Fuel division. He's already picked up 1 victory. Let's head down to the far end now with Steve and the winner, Darrell Alderman.
Well, Winston, champ, you have a chance to really polish off this season now.
Yeah, we'd like nothing more than to win this last race. You know, it'd be nice for the summer or the winter we're going to.
We heard Jerry Ekman with a big hoot when he heard he's got lane choice over you.
Well, I think they like the left lane anyway, so it isn't going to make any difference.
We'll see.
Well, I'll tell you, I like the near lane because that's where all the wind's been coming out today.
Including Darrell Alderman.
You bet.
We move now to the semifinals in the Top Fuel division, and it's a solo run for Kenny Bernstein.
This is a real luxury, Don Garlitz. What do you think they're going to try to do here?
They're going to lean on this car because they know they're going to have a tough competitor. They're not going to be lucky and make singles all day long. Sooner or later, they're going to have to race. So they're going to get after it this time and see just what this Pomona surface will take.
And no one more interested than longtime starter Buster Cass. Kenny Bernstein stages, whoa, and instantly up in smoke as Buster reacts to, oh man, they didn't learn a thing.
learned absolutely nothing. Well, they learned that combination they got in there right now is not going to win this race.
So it's back to the drawing board for Kenny Bernstein and his crew as we'll come back and we'll have one more semifinal in the top fuel division. Pat Austin and Tom McEwen, but right now, Ed McCullough's car being towed out as he matches up with Jim White in the next funny car semifinal. Against Ed McCullough, the funny car semifinal. We just saw that solo run for Kenny Bernstein. Let's find out more about that with Steve.
Well, with the luxury of a bye run, Kenny Bernstein and crew were able to try something, and Kenny, it didn't work.
No, we did. We pushed on it hard. Like I said, it hasn't been running on 8 cylinders for, what, a week, I don't think. But that time it got on 8, and it did what we kind of thought it might once the motor came to life. So now we got some decisions to make.
And those are going to be tough decisions. They're going to have to be between Bernstein and Dale Armstrong because they do not have a decent computer tape to refer to for the entire day.
We are now ready for our second semi in the top fuels. Pat Austin, the car you're looking at right now, against Tom the Mongoose McEwen.
If you were to poll the pits right now, who has the best reaction time consistently in top fuel racing, well, the vote would be unanimous to Pat Austin. McEwen has got to leave with him to accomplish the task at hand. Couldn't do it. Austin out front. McEwen coming back. It is Pat Austin. What a direct, identical lap time. 5:08 for both drivers. The difference, Pat Austin had 0.05 of a second right off the mark.
So the final is set for the top fuels, and it's a rematch of the U.S. Nationals that we saw right here on Sports World. Pat Austin going up against Kenny Bernstein. Back to the funny cars, the semifinal pairing of Al Hoffman and the car we're looking at right now, John Force.
And let's not forget the Force's team also had to accomplish an engine transplant, but they've done that so many times it's almost routine with them.
In this day and age, you know, Steve, an engine change isn't as serious as it used to be. With the information they have from the computers, they can put these cars right back to where they were. So I think Force will run real well.
Very exciting time right now for Pat Austin. Let's find out more with Steve.
Since Pat Austin first crawled into a top fuel car this past Labor Day weekend, he's taken a lot of teasing from Tom McEwen. You were pumped up to leave on him, and you did.
Yeah, that was him and Perlon were my heroes when I was growing up, and to beat the Hot Wheel guys, you know, it just means something.
You probably never saw him, but you both ran 5:08.
Hey, great. That's what racing's all about. The closer the better, as long as we get there first. It's time to go get a bud.
Talking about Bernstein, of course, and Pat will have lane choice.
Pat Austin intimidated earlier in his career by those veterans he was talking about, but no longer.
The body up on Al Hoffman's car, that I don't believe is a sign of any problems. No, crew chief Tom Anderson just wanted a look. Anderson, unlike the crew chief on this car, Austin Boyle, is not full-time. He has a job in Western New York. He flies in on the weekends. He's the best addition ever to the Al Hoffman team. Bright young man, brilliant future in this sport.
Looking at the performance, Steve, you know, you just have to give it to Hoffman, but you never count John Force out.
Good lines by John Force. You're running along with him. Force up in smoke. Hoffman up in smoke. It's the driver's race. It is Hoffman's race. His wife, Helen, doesn't even know who won. There's so much tire smoke, she can't see the win light. Hoffman won it, 582.
Well, I guess we have to give thumbs down to the clutch management guy and thumbs up to the driver. What a job.
I'll tell you what, the driver earned his pay today, doesn't he? When you outdrive Force, you outdrive the best.
A proud crew chief Tom Anderson, and what a job of holding it together by the driver.
You bet, but it didn't start off that way. John Force took a hole shot that was brilliant, and it looked like everything was going his way. Hoffman's tire started to smoke first. He backpedaled, but then Force's tire smoked unbelievable, hiding the entire race from the fans standing on the starting line. Both cars nearly got out of the groove and on the center line, but it was Hoffman who recovered first and got to the finish line, winning the race.
Let's find out the other side with John.
Well, John Force is good a pedaler as you are on and off the throttle. My money was on you, buddy.
Let me tell you something. We were pedaling. There was smoke out the windows everywhere, and he was right out the window. I was trying to hang on to him. Good weekend. We won the championship in Castrol, Jolly Rancher, Wax Shop O's. All the people, we gave us our best shot. Coyle gave me some muscle. I tried to control it. We did the best we could, but it was a drag race. I had a ball doing it.
Thanks for all the thrills in 91.
A lot of thrills, but a whole bunch new for 92, and let's have some of these boys, McCullough Anderson, get some of that NHRA Winston money. They earned it.
Another great year for John Force. Disappointment, though, in the semifinal. The next funny car is semi, Ed McCullough and Jim White.
Ed McCullough needs to save his season right here in Pomona. He challenged John Force for the championship in 1990. In 1991, this Oldsmobile has gone winless. Not so the car in the near lane. They have ruled the drag racing sports until Labor Day weekend when they won the Big Bud Shootout and the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Of course, we're talking about Jim White, but a question mark under the body in the engine compartment, Don.
It's a brand new engine. We just have to assume that it's going to be better. That's what they keep telling you back in the pits when you're talking to the crew chiefs. It's going to be better. We're putting a fresh piece in. Well, let's see.
McCullough with the lead. White does not have the big speed to come back with. It is Ed McCullough going to the final round with a very nice 531, 271 miles per hour. Let's go to Don with his crew chief.
Well, it just goes to show you what being calm, cool, and collected and not getting nervous can do.
I wasn't nervous, believe me. It looks like we, made the right moves. It's getting a little better progressively, but I think the track's tightening up. The sun's getting long now, so I think we're in better shape. I think it'll be a real good final.
And the final is set in the funny cars now. It'll be Al Hoffman against Ed McCullough, and McCullough will have the lane choice. Well, it's been a great year for Jim White, a sensational season. Disappointment today, though. Let's find out with Steve.
Well, the mighty Dodge just kind of nosed over.
Yeah, something broke on it. They're about 1,100 feet, maybe 1,000 feet. Something broke pretty bad in there. Anyway, we got a lot of time to fix it now.
That's right. There's rumors this team will not be together next year.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, Wes Cerny's announcement to go with Kenny Bernstein next year. Right now, Roland doesn't have a sponsor to replace the Hawaiian Punch sponsorship that he's had for 9 years. It's been a great time, but it's over. So we're still looking, we're working, and hopefully we'll have something here in February.
We wish you luck.
Thank you, Steve.
And Jim White did finish second to John Force in the season-long point standings. Well, back in the pit area of Al Hoffman, they've got problems, and that has been the story today. You win a race in funny car, it seems like all of a sudden you've got to change an engine. They're doing that right now as Hoffman faces Ed McCullough in the funny car final when we come back.